Hiya, Laurie here, welcome back. So I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the coming summer and are ready for a Happy Meal month, which I am extremely behind on. But I'm hoping to kind of catch up this week. So if you remember last year, I kind of created this month-long challenge called Happy Meal Month. Throughout the month of May, you send out Happy Meal to strangers as random acts of kindness. And the goal is, for me especially, in particular, is to send out a Happy Meal for each day of the month, which I kind of fell short on last year and will probably fall short on this year due to the fact that I'm already running behind. But the idea is to use your scraps and only your scraps, and use them to create ephemera, stickers, whatever you want to use, whatever you want to make, but you have to try and use only scraps. I'm going to try and keep these videos relatively short, maybe half an hour to 45 minutes long at the most, but we will see how time goes. Let me know if you prefer, if you wouldn't mind longer videos, like say an hour and 15 minutes, to try and kind of get as much done as possible. But for this video especially, I'm going to try and keep it below the hour long mark. But one thing I thought of for this year, last year I did journals out of scraps. This year I want to send out sort of like flip books with made ephemera. And one thing that I thought of using was packaging. So if you order stickers or ephemera or anything like that online, generally it will come in some sort of packet, like a little bag or something. But sometimes, I'm just putting that up on my keyboard so I don't lose it, it's a little tiny piece of acetate. Sometimes they will also come in these cute little cards where they are envelopes, or they've got like a little cup window, or they're little like folders. Some of them I won't really need to do much of anything. Like for instance this one, it's literally made for me. And then there's other ones that are really tiny, like this one. That one I just kind of cut off. Again, this one with the frame. I love this one where it opens up like so. And then you've also got like this style. And like I said, they're all just really pretty packaging that I've just kind of kept because I like them. And then obviously we've got our scraps in that as well. So I'm going to have a look through this. I do have lots of them, but I cannot find my other bags. I keep them in these little folders here. So I'm going to like kind of try and organise them ever so slightly into little piles. This is just a little bag of scraps that I grabbed. And shove that out the way now. So a lot of them have this sort of fold. So obviously if we turn this over this way, that's an instant pocket. And I've got quite a few of those ones. I don't think I can really use that, but it's like a belly band. I don't know if you heard that, but my cat just sneezed and it was so cute. So yeah, I've got these sort of little vellum envelopes, and some of them have got like a little spine area, so that like in theory you could get a lot more in the pocket. And then some are just pieces of card. This one has an actual pocket already. Got some twine here. And then this is actually just a box that I kind of tore apart because I wanted to use the card for it. So I'm just going to kind of pop that out of the way. And then same goes for these. I wanted to cut out these individual little words because I thought they were pretty. So again, I'll pop these ones. And I'm also going to pop these ones to the side because they're just cards and I don't want that. And obviously I've kept some of the plastic. These are great if you want to make windows or frames or anything like that. You can cut it out and then you can use this at the back of it. So say you wanted to make a picture frame using this, you would cut out enough that this would cover it, and then you could put whatever you want in behind. So that was the thought behind keeping those. So now I'm just going to kind of sort these ones out. And that can go there. And I've got a pocket. And then these, I could fold this up, or rather this way, and it makes like a pocket that way. But I would score like here maybe, rather than just folding it right along the die cut area. And that would become a pocket like these. So the majority of the cards that I do have are pockets that are coming from the sides. So these are obviously coming from the side. And I would kind of need to keep it that way in order to keep the lady, which was the reason behind keeping these, was so I could cut the lady out. So I might even just do that and use those as ephemera. And these ones, I want to try and make about 15 today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we'll start with 10 and then we can move on to different shapes. And then hopefully by then I can also find more. So I'm also going to count out how many of these like slender envelopes that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10 if I include these larger ones here. But I've got at least 7, well 6 including this like slightly, oh that's not even an envelope, but we can make it an envelope. But yeah, so I think that's probably the same actually. Yeah, so I can make these into envelopes, and then this is like a pocket envelope. Yep, and this is 1, 2. So these are 2 like larger pocket envelopes. But we can use those and then stick them like in the pocket. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold these down so that we have all of our pockets sorted, sort of thing. So I'm just going to grab a ruler and my bone folder, and I'm just going to kind of lightly score along this dotted line here. And that's where my fold's going to go. Oops, I nailed it in the road there. And obviously I'm not on any kind of scoreboard or that, but it's still working. It won't be like a very deep score, but I don't want that anyway. I just want it to help me fold. And the same for this one. So I'm going over it a couple of times purely because it is a hard desk underneath. And then this should fold relatively easy. So I hope you're all doing well, and I would love to know if any of you are also taking part in the Happy Mail Month challenge. If you are, be sure to use tag me in it on Instagram before you send them out. I would love to see what you guys come up with, because obviously it's entirely up to yourself what you make. There are no rules. You can make as many or as little as you want. You can make one or none. You obviously don't have to take part, but if you are taking part, you can literally just make one and that is it. And then just if you tag me on Instagram, I would love to see it. So obviously we've got our little flips now, but that doesn't make it a pocket. We've still got this little bit here to deal with. So what I think I'm going to do is grab a thin washi tape. So I'm going to grab this little thin washi tape here, and that should be the right width. Yep. And I'm going to use that. And what I might actually do is just take it right along the length of it. Yeah. And where's my scissors? So I'm just taking it right along the length like that, and then it will tuck round, and I'm going to do the exact same thing for this one. The good thing about this tape is it does have a backing to it, so I can kind of measure it out and cut it down without it sticking. Obviously you could staple this, you could use sellotape, you could use a thicker washi tape and just kind of thin and like make a cut and thin it down, like make it thinner. You could use a non-staple stapler, that would work too. You could add card or something to the inside and make a little hinge. There's like a million and one ways you could do this. This is just the way that I'm doing it. So I'm going to try and line it up in the middle so that I've got enough on either end. And right at the bottom, and that way if it is long, like too long, which it is, I can tuck it over or I can cut it. So now I just need to fix that because that'll annoy the hell out of me. I'm just going to wrap it round and try and keep it straight. There we go. And then do the same on the other side. Sorry if I'm taking this out of frame. I don't mean to. I just kind of automatically pull it close to my face. And then as you can see, this bit's still sticky, so if I wanted I could thing it over, but because this bit here is kind of covered, I'm just going to trim it off, and that way it's just nice and neat at the bottom. And we'll probably cover the back of this anyway because I don't want obviously the packaging part to be showing. So obviously this isn't a scrap that I'm using, but I don't think washi tape counts. It's a tape, it's an adhesive, so that does not count. And I'm using it as an adhesive, even though I am using it to decorate slightly as well. It's a blurry part of the rules. It's not, I'm not breaking them, I'm just making them blurry. Besides, there are no rules, so I can use whatever I want. So again, I'm just trying to keep that straight and placing it down. There we go. And then I'm going to cut that excess again. Why is it whenever I go to cut something, I'm always so shaky? It's a pain in the neck. My hands will be steady as a surgeon's, and then I'll pick up a pair of scissors and I'm all over the place. So now that that's down, I'm just going to give it a nice wee score, just to kind of help make sure it doesn't lift up at all. Because obviously washi tape is meant to be repositionable, but you can obviously make sure that it's not by scoring it down and making sure it's really stuck on there. So we now have those two pockets, and now we need to make the rest of these into pockets. So I'm going to pop these to the side as well. So I'm going to start with this one, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get rid of that hinge. So I'm going to fold it up on the back part and then score it, and that'll get rid of that little spine area and make it just the one fold. So now we need something that's going to be wide enough for this. And again, I'm looking at my washi tapes. So I had to go hunt for a minute there, but I found this washi tape, which is wide enough. I love this washi tape, it's so pretty. Ah, don't rip on me. So it's literally just wide enough. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. So I'm going to line this up and then fold this part over and give it a wee score there because I ripped it. Okay, and then I'm going to continue that. Try and keep it as straight as possible. And then I can cut that off there and press it down. And there we go. We now have another pocket. And again, I'm just going to go over and score it. So we now have 3 pockets. So I'm going to work on these ones next since they're all the same. And really, these actually came this way. So it was like a banner, I suppose. But I'm obviously turning them upside down. And I just love this paper. This was the reason I kept them, because this paper is just gorgeous. So I was going to use it in collages, but not anymore. So I'm going again to fold this over to get rid of that sort of spinish sort of thing right there. It's not as prominent as the last one, but it's still there ever so slightly. So I'm just want to get rid of that. And then I want to find 3 different washi tapes, I think, just depending on like to go with their colour. So again, I had to kind of go off to find it. But I've settled on this one, which is the one I sell in my shop. I think it's just gorgeous. It's got really beautiful gold gilding in it. And then I've got this one, which is like a brownish grey type, like with lettering and writing and book stuff. And then I've got this one, which kind of looks like a ribbon. And it's one of my favourite ones as well. I love it. So, starting from the pink bready one, I'm going to grab some of this. And I don't need it to be as wide as this, because I want to leave that like scalloped decoration. And I don't mind obviously showing some of that beautiful card. For the most part, I just kind of want this bit covered up. Obviously we will be adding like a label and stuff like that as well, so that does not fall solely to this washi tape to cover it up. But as long as it covers up that main part of the writing, I'm happy. So I'm trying to keep it as straight as I can. This one doesn't have a backing, so it's a tad bit more pretty for this. But it's just too pretty. I had to use it. And then again, I'm just giving it a quick score, and as you can see, it wasn't completely straight, but oh well. Love it. So we have another pocket now. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other 2. There we go. So we now have another 3 pockets. And obviously, like I said, we'll cover up this with like a label or some decoration later on. And then we have these 4, which again were supposed to go like this, but they're actually going like this. And I wonder if I was to use this in half. So I might actually cut these ones in half and then use them. Just because I don't need them to be that wide. So I'm just going to grab this one and kind of fold it in half and then see where that lies. So that is 9 centimeters. There we go. Oh, so like I said, I only want to make 15 today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, actually that was pretty good. It's a shame that this one wasn't a little bit wider, or I could have done the same to that and it would have gave us our 15. I think I might actually make this a little bit shorter as well, actually, because I think it's a bit wide. So let's see here. If I make it just a little bit wider than that. So if I make it, just because it's relatively short, If I make it 10 centimetres, that one's a little less intimidating. I'm just going to cut off a little bit of that and pop it to the side. Watch me cut too much of that off now. No, that's fine. There we go. Again, I'm just going to score that down. And there we go. So we've got 14. We need obviously one more, or I might just make 14 today because I need 14 then 15. No, 16 then 15 actually. So I'm going to try and find some like washi tape. So I'll need a blue one. So I may use, where did I put it? No, I need a lighter blue than that. I need a purple, I need a white, and I need a yellow. So I will be right back. Okay, so I found some washi tape. Obviously, if you don't have washi tape, you can use strips of paper for this. You don't need to go out and buy some washi tape for this. It's what I have, so it's what I'm using. I didn't want anything too wide. At first, I was going to go with like the wider washi tapes. I kind of want to leave the flowers, so I just kind of want to cover up this part here. I'd rather not cover up this, but I'm going to have to, just to get rid of the writing, essentially. So I didn't have a yellow washi tape, so I'm going to have to look into that. But I did have this one. I suppose I could have used the flower one again, actually. But no, I'll go with the sunflowers because they're pretty. That one's pretty too, but I like the sunflowers. And I don't get to use it very often. So I'm literally just going to try and cover up the writing. So I'm going to try and get it as closely over that as I can. And obviously it doesn't have to like fit in. Like obviously we've got a little line there. We can put a scrap piece of lace or something on that later. It doesn't have to look perfect. This is just us trying to fix a problem. We need a pocket, not a flap. So that is what we're getting. And if it doesn't look amazing, that's fine. If it's not completely straight, also fine. So again, just right there. And over we go. And as you can see, mine is a little bit crooked. We're not looking for perfection here. As long as it is functional, that is all we need. Anything that's handmade will never be perfect. It's just not possible. We're human beings, not machines, so we cannot make things perfect. And that's okay. That is the beauty of the handmade item. The imperfections make it perfect, because those are the things that make it unique. Okay, so where's the end? There you are. I could not find the end of this. This is also available in my shop, and it is just gorgeous. It's little flowers and things, but it's got gold keys, and oh, I love it. I love it. Right, so again, I'm just trying to cover up that writing. Oops. There we go. And remember, we'll be covering this up, so like we might even put like an envelope or something on the back, so don't worry if it's messy looking. We are going to be covering that. So now I need to figure out what I can use as my last pocket. So I've actually got my junk box off to the side here. I wonder if I can kind of squeeze it through, because I've got a big like wooden panel here kind of helping my desk stay upright, so I don't know if I'll be able to, but we can try. Come on, out you come. Whoa. So yeah, these are my scraps. So I've got some acetate and stuff in there, which I usually use as scraps for my washi tapes samples. So I might do that with these. So I'm just kind of grabbing everything that's kind of fallen out so that I can tidy it up, because it's now destroyed my desk. So like I said, we've already found our other pocket, which is brilliant. Yeah, so I've already got a new pocket, so I'm going to go and try and find a tape that I can use for this. There we go. By the time I'm done this, we'll have finished our first video and all we'll have done is made pockets. Which kind of sucks, considering it's pretty boring, isn't it? So again, I'm going to try and cover up this writing as much as I can. Obviously we've got this little bit, that's where we can put our tag, so don't worry, that will be hidden eventually. So we now have our 15 pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we've got these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I found one in that as well, so 11. So we might not be able to use these actually. I really love these as well. They're really cool, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, that is us so far. So the next thing we need to do is cover up this back part, and we can do that one of two ways, either just putting a card over it, or we could maybe make an envelope and then put that over it. But obviously that would depend on what kind of scrap paper I have and whether or not I have the right sizes to do that. I do have a Memory Keeper's envelope maker, so that obviously comes in handy, but I would need to measure these and then figure out if I have the paper size that is required, because obviously they're all different sizes. So I might take a little bit off the top of this one just to make it kind of the same size. I'm going to do that now actually. Just so that they're all roughly the same height. Obviously these ones are still a bit taller. I might actually make them all roughly this size, and that way they're all the same. Now the cool part about cutting those down means that if I want to, I can use these to make a sort of belly band on the back maybe, or even on the front, because obviously I might want more than one pocket, but I don't know. So what I could do is, obviously instead of covering it completely, I could take another piece of packaging, for instance. So this is for stickers or something, and I would cut this bit so that you only really see that bit, and then I would make it into a pocket, and then you could tuck things inside, and then I would have space to do the same elsewhere. So I might do that, because that sounds pretty fun. And it means that obviously we can decorate each card differently. So this one, for instance, would cover the majority of the back of it, and I could even just take this and stick it there to kind of hide that barcode. So how about we do one of those before I need to turn the computer, the video off for it being too long. And I apologise if we go too long, but hopefully we don't. Oh, so I had to go grab a drink because I really needed one. But I don't think I'm going to use this one. I mean, if I was, I would probably use it in a way where this opens up still. But I think, no, I don't think I want to use that one. But I might want to use this one. So I'm literally just going to eyeball it. And I'm not trying to like cut round the flower, so I have cut off like some leaf ends and things like that. So now what I need to do is find one of those bags. There we go. Find one of these little see-through bag things. But I want to cover this part up because it's got this sticky thing here, which I don't want. So where did I put, what colour is this? So I might just grab one of these wallpaper scraps, actually. Like that. So this is one of the scraps that I pulled out earlier. So if I glue that there, that will be pretty. So I'm just using Pritt Stick for this. I might actually line it up to the edge, and that way I don't need to cut it everywhere. But yeah, I'm completely winging it right now. Just kind of making it up as I go. So if you guys have any ideas, I would love to read them down below on what I could do to the back of these guys, because I think we could really make them into cool flat mails. So now I need to cover that bit. Do I have a pen? Actually, just too short. That was a little piece of acetate I put away earlier. I wonder if my pen will work. Just a ballpoint. Stay still. Kind of work. Oh, there we go. Right. So we now have that. How high do we need it? There. So I'm going to cut this straight up there. And I'm going to cut it straight down there and get rid of that little seam. And then I can cut it right across that fold. And I'm literally just using the one piece for it. So I'm going to kind of use my finger to rub off that ink. And then I'm going to go in with my 3-in-1 and stick it down, because I do not have a tape roller. Oh wait, actually I do have double-sided tape though. Double-sided tape and tape rollers work so much better than glue when it comes to this kind of stuff. Highly recommend that if you have the option to use it, because otherwise it takes forever to dry, and I actually don't think it ever fully dries. So I'm going to cut this right up the middle, because I don't need it as wide as that. There we go. I'm just trying to get it as straight as I can. And then I can cut the excess off. Okay. Again, just kind of straight down the middle. And then I need score. I'm actually going to put the lid on my glue because I just realised I didn't have it. Just give it a nice old score all the way around. And then position this why is this too small now? What the hang? Hey, hold on. Oh my days. So I've made that too small because I'm a numpty and forgot to take into account the tape. So what I'm actually going to do this time is cut it to size and put the tape on this part. And it's just peeking over the top ever so slightly, so I'm just going to trim that away if it'll let me, because it's obviously a curl in the paper or whatever it's called. And then I'm just going to take my glue and put it along the two edges. Actually, do we want to do the same thing we did last time? No, because then it's going to, I want to make a little hinge actually, because I don't want to make the pocket like so you can't put a lot in it. So where's my scraps? So I've got these scraps of vintage wallpaper printouts. So I'm going to line that up there and cut it in half, fold it in half, and giving it a good old score, and then folding it in half again. I don't know why I'm using my nails when my balloon folder's sitting right there. And I'm going to just give it a little, it's literally tearing anywhere but on the actual flipping fold. There we go. And then I can use these as my hinges. So I now have two pieces of relatively thin paper, and I'm just folding them in half, and then I'm going to give them a score there as well, and I'm going to glue them on as little hinges. So I'll glue them to here, but I'll need to double side like tape them to here. So we'll do the glue first. And this is just going to give us a better scope of our pocket so that it's not going to be limited by the glue. Yeah, man. So I'm just going to put it right on there. the same here. I'm just making sure that the fold is on the outside, because otherwise it's not going to do a damn thing. So you always want the fold on the outside. And then I'm going to kind of measure that roughly. I'm not fully cutting it in half. I want them slightly I want them slightly thinner than that. So it's 1, 2. Like Edward scissor hands now. Okay, so again I'm just going to pop that on that piece of paper, and you don't need it to go all the way to the bottom, but you do need it to be all the way to the top. Obviously it's better to have it go all the way to the bottom, but if you're not able to do that, that's fine. I'm just going to cut off a little bit here. Pop that down there, if it will let me. And again, here. And pop that back on tape. Really? Hate when it does that. Hate. So I'm gonna give that a little score. And then we just need to fold it. So just make sure they're stuck down nice. And fold it shut. And then give it another good score. And we now have our pocket. Obviously you could cut a little half circle in there so that it's obvious that it's a pocket. I'm not going to, because I don't want to weaken it any further because it is such a thin ridge. But then this can go here, or it can even go here. Where do we want it? So that's the pocket there. So maybe here. Doesn't leave a lot of scope for anything else to go on though, so I think I'll put it there. And I might even leave it so that the back of it's a pocket as well. So I'm going to cover the back of this. So again, I'm just kind of grabbing stuff. No, it's not wide enough. I like this one actually. So I'm going to stick that one down. I mean, I know a lot of it won't be seen, but it's still pretty. So I'm just using my Pritt stick again for this. You could obviously use double-sided tape again, or your tape roller. You could even loop sellotape and make that into like sort of double-sided tape, where you loop it around your finger and use that to stick it down. So I'm just kind of trying to get it as close to the edge as it will go. And using my bone folder to just score it. I actually do have like a thing for that, which is easier. And just make sure that it's nice and smooth. Just going to grab my scissors and cut this out. And I just went slightly above, tiniest little slither, and the same at the side here. And let me see, just make sure all the corners are stuck down nice. So that's our pocket. So let me see here. Like I said, I could leave it so that this part here is a pocket, but I kind of want to put something here, even if it is just, where's that little blue bit went? Or is it this one? No, where's the, it was like a blue colour, wasn't it? It's not that one. But anyway, I might get like some sort of belly band and do that. I have no idea. Okay, so I was having a little think, and then I remembered that I have these tiny, tiny envelopes, and they were literally the perfect size for this. So even though it's not scrap, I want to use it because I have a ton of them and I don't use them. So I want to kind of use them because otherwise they'll just sit there unused forever. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little bit of glue because it's a very, very small area that you're able to glue. And I'm going to glue right at the very, very edge here. More on my desk than anything else really. And pop that down and hope that I did not like glue it shut. And then that can go there. And like I said, I'll leave this so that's also a pocket. And it would look like this. What do you think? I like it. So I'm going to stick the envelope down. And then I can stick this down, and I think what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to add hinges. So we have this bit here, and then we have a bit there. And there we go. So I'm just going to give that a minute to obviously grip and dry. And we have one done. So obviously we've got a big pocket here, which we will also decorate at the front. And now we have a pocket here, an envelope here, and then another pocket here. And I will do the same to the other ones in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it wasn't too long for you. Let me know down below. And I will hopefully see you again soon. Take care and God bless. Bye.